Dude, I really wish there was a trading strategy that was just simple. Trading is super hard mentally and emotionally. Like, I just wish that there was a strategy that is so simple. What do you mean by that, bro? I mean, you're gonna have to put in effort no matter what you do in trading. No, I completely understand that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like these strategies people put forth, like ICT concepts and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like before I take a trade, I gotta mark out like 40 things. So many different fair value gaps, liquidity sweeps, SMTs, break of structures, all of these things that ICT concepts have. It just makes it more difficult because I feel like I'm marking out my charts for like 30 straight minutes and I'm looking for 50 different things to happen before I even enter a trade. Okay, now I understand what you're saying, bro. I completely get that, man. I was at your point once in life. I completely was focused on ICT concepts, fair value gaps, all these different inverse and liquidity sweeps and all this stuff. I definitely needed to simplify my strategy too, and thankfully enough, there's something out there called support and resistance. It's 2 or 3 steps at most. It's super simple and it's super effective. A lot of people hate it. They think it don't work. They think it doesn't work. They think it's, a scam or whatever, but I promise you it's 2 or 3 simple steps a day and that's it. Really? 2 or 3 simple steps and that's it? Like, that's really what I've been looking for. Is that like too good to be true? Because I've really been looking for something that is just 1 to 2 to 3 steps and you can feel confident in your trade, but you don't have to do 10 minutes of work before you just enter the trade. Yes, bro, let's actually hop on my computer right now. I'll show you. It's 2 or 3 simple steps at most. They're simple and effective, and you can take a trade with confidence and not have to worry too much about all the different confluences and stuff like that. So let's actually hop on the computer and check this out.
All right, everybody. So welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed that corny little intro I made. I don't know, just figured I would change up the intro strategy. But regardless of that, let's get into what actually support and resistance is. Because if you guys watched that intro, you guys know what this video is about. We're getting into why support and resistance is the best scalping strategy, why it works the best, the success that it's given me, the success that it's given my students, how you can find support and resistance, and how you can trade support and resistance. So I want to start by actually showing my results, because what kind of influencer slash mentor would I be if I didn't actually show my results of trading the very strategy I'm trying to teach and promote my education platform with? So this was kind of really my year. I started tracking my new accounts in June of this year. I barely traded in the month of June. As you guys can see, it is my birthday on June 4th. So I was extremely busy this entire month, really, seeing family, friends. I had a girlfriend in my life at the time. So just extremely busy in the month of June. But as you can see, nevertheless, a great month. We move on to July, only take 1 loss there. August only took 3 losses, was extremely profitable that month. September, same thing, took 1 loss, had almost a 20K month. Into October, had my best month ever of 73.4K, $73,000 plus. The reason the numbers went up so much, because if you look back at these previous days, I was only trading my alpha futures as well my live account, so the numbers were a little smaller. We move on to October. On this day right here, the 16th, I started trading 10 copy traded Apex accounts. So if you take a $1,000 win on 10 accounts, you get a $10,000 day. So that's why the numbers got so much bigger. But nevertheless, that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is that support and resistance is the most goated scalping strategy. You can just see here, we go into the November, same thing, had a little bit of a slower month with the Apex accounts, but still almost a 20K month. And then in December, I went back to trading my live account only. So I was up almost 5K that month because my live account is smaller than 10 Apex accounts. But nevertheless, you guys see the strategy. You see it works. You see that all the months that I tracked my trading this year. Unfortunately, in May, I wasn't tracking my accounts yet. But you see all the months this year that I was tracking accounts. I was extremely profitable. Support and resistance works. Next, I want to actually get into my Discord here. So this is my Discord room. This is my students' profit post channel, as you can see down here. I mean, they feast from this strategy. This is a live trading Discord, so I live trade the same strategy every single day. As you guys can see up here, there is a volume button. Let's see if I can get it for you guys. Bang, right there. You can see there is a live trading sessions button right there. We trade live every single day. And as you can see here, some of the results of my students. I mean, green, green, green. It continues to go up. It is just green profits that continue to go up. As well, I send trade recaps of the trades we take every single day. There's boatloads of trades recaps, as you guys can see there. So you guys get the gist of it, guys. I take these trades. I send you guys these trades if you join my live Discord, and you can see the profits are great. The success is great, as I showed you on my TradeZella. You can see from my students, they profit. It's really an all-around W Discord room that we have here where we trade support and resistance. But now that I've showed you guys the transparency, the results, I've been able to show you guys what support and resistance has done for my life and my students' life. Let's actually get into what is support and resistance, how you can look for it, and how you can trade it. So what is support and resistance? Support and resistance levels are horizontal price levels. That is key. You're never going to be planting anything that's vertical or diagonal. That's support and resistance. Diagonal is usually trend lines. Support and resistance is always going to be horizontal price levels. They connect price bar highs to other price bar lows. That just means candlestick highs and lows. They connect candlestick highs and lows to each other, forming horizontal levels on a price chart. So think, as we see in this picture right here, you have a swing high right here, a swing high right here in the same area as it, so you connect it with a resistance level line. Same right here, you have a swing low here, you have a swing low here, you connect it and they touch the same line. That means it is a support level, okay? So a support or resistance level is formed when a market's price action reverses and changes direction, leaving behind a peak through a swing point in the market, as I just explained down here. Okay, support and resistance levels can carve out trading ranges like we see in the chart below. They also can be seen in trading markets as market retraces levels behind swing points. Okay, so I kind of want to explain the picture and kind of what we're looking at here. As you guys can see, I kind of did a brief overview of this about a minute ago, but I'll do a more in-depth overview of it now before we actually hop onto my trading charts. So these are the horizontal red lines I am talking about. Whatever you use on TradingView, they could be green lines, they could be blue lines. I personally like to use boxes, zones. You'll see that when we actually get onto my charts here. But for now, we can go over, because it's the same idea, same concept. You're basically connecting two swing high points or two swing low points that are essentially touching the same area. So as you guys can see here, they don't have to be perfectly lined up. As you can see down here, this part of the line is more close to the body of these candles. Meanwhile, the touch of the line here is the wick of this candle. They don't have to be touching the same area of the candle. The candlestick patterns just have to be touching the same line. Okay, so take a note of that. Write that down in your notebook. Make a mental note of it, whatever. The candlesticks just have to be touching the same line. The line does not have to be touching the same part of the candlesticks. Make sure you watch that over. Understand what I just said there. If you have to watch it again and again, do it. But make sure you understand what I just said there. You can see the same thing with resistance here. We are marking off swing highs here, swing lows here. So you have a swing high here that formed a huge move to the downside. It comes back up to the very same area that formed the swing high over here, rejects the same area as it did here, and forms another move down. So a saying I like to tell my students, and I tell them this in the Discord all the time when we are trading support and resistance, my favorite saying to use when we are trading support and resistance is history likes to repeat itself. History tends to repeat itself is my favorite saying, and something that really helped my support and resistance trading to the max. Like, I was failing a lot of accounts. I didn't really know what support and resistance really was years ago. I just knew I wanted to trade it because ICT was too difficult. And once I really got in my head the saying that history likes to repeat itself, that's when my support and resistance trading took off to the next level, because it does. All you were trying to do is get in with the big market people. You're not trying to predict the market. You're not trying to outdo the market, because the market will humble you. All you were trying to do is get in with the market makers. Get in with the people who move the market. So if we have this area right here where the market clearly is selling off. You have big sellers in this area. You don't get large moves to the downside like this unless there's big sellers in this area. Well, if price comes back up to the very same area, don't you think sellers want to get in there again? Don't you think they want to say, okay, there's a lot of orders that pushed price down here, so when price comes back up to the same area right here, well, let's just put more orders in there. And that's essentially what support and resistance is. You're not trying to beat out the market. You are trying to get in with the market. Now, this is a concept that is for another time here, but you guys can kind of understand. Resistance flipped to support, and the vice versa can happen down here. Support can flip to resistance. Just imagine, price breaking through here and pulling itself back up to that red line. This is called a break and retest play, a play that I like to trade. What you are looking for is price to come to one of these areas of support or resistance. You're looking for price not to hold off of it and reject it like it did here. As you could see here, price came back up to this very area and, it rejected down like this, just like it did over here. But this time price breaks through the area, but you can't just enter the trade because it breaks through the area. That's too risky. You have to wait for price to move up a little bit, pull back to the area, reject it as this blue box outlines right here. Then you can enter the trade, because what's essentially happening is buyers are pushing price up and they're pulling price back to the level to get in at a discounted price. They're using that same level that was used over here to fuel the move to the upside, but they can't get in up here. They have to pull the level back so they can get in at a discounted price. Same thing with a support level. Imagine price broke down below here, pulled back to the level, rejected it, and could not move higher, and then continued to the downside, as we see vice versa here. So I want to actually get into the charts here and show you guys how I have my charts marked up. As you guys can see here, I choose to mark up areas based off large moves that happen in the same area multiple times, as we saw on that screenshot on the previous website. We could see here that we have price top off right here and then make a huge move to the downside. Well, what does price do when it comes back to this very same area? Wow, it's almost like it uses the same orders over here and pushes price down even further. But wait, that's not all. Price then breaks above this area that was used over here twice, pulls back, retests and rejects, and then price makes its way up. So we can see here that the same image that we used right here to describe support and resistance has multiple of the same things happening on the charts here. That's because the strategy works and the strategy plays out just fine. Also, look at another pair that I trade gold. Here we are on the 1 hour time frame. You can see at this bottom level right here, we have price moving off of this area several times. We have a consolidation period here before price moves itself to the upside. It pulls back, it rejects the same area and moves up. Bang, pulls back, same area, moves up. We check over here now. Oh, look, price comes back to the very same level, touches it, and what do we get? An immediate move to the upside. So we can see that price likes to use these levels to move itself off of. Now, I want to go over why this is such a simple strategy and why it is so effective. Because let's actually get rid of these black lines here. Now, when you are trading things like ICT concepts, let's draw out a little price chart like this. Bang, 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 bang. We'll do something like this. Bang. When you are trading things like ICT concepts, well, let's say this is our candlestick pattern chart right here. Okay, well, first I have to mark out this fair value gap right here. Then I have to mark out this SMT divergence right here. Then I have to mark out this inverse fair value gap right here. Then I have to mark out this internal break of structure right here. Then I have to see that price needs to grab liquidity up here. And then finally, after all that happens, then I can enter a trade. What? You just did all of that before you even entered the trade. And no wonder why trading has such an attrition rate, because we are not simplifying the industry these days. And people like to hate. People like to get mad. You don't know how much hate I've received because I don't trade ICT. Oh my gosh, support and resistance and supply and demand and all those price action strategies, they're a scam. You need to actually be doing technical analysis. Well, we are. And I'm going to show you why this strategy helped me go from failing account after account to blowing all my money to now making $70,000 in a month and being a full-time trader. I just outlined everything that ICT kind of goes here with. There's SMTs, there's inverse gaps, there's fair value gaps, there's internal break of structures, there's external break of structures, there's liquidity sweeps. I mean, there's 400 different concepts before you can even enter a trade. Let's now move over here and create a similar or the same price chart. Let's do something like this. Bang, 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 bang. We'll do something like this. Well, instead of having to mark out 500 different things like we did here, oh, look, we mark out our area of support. We mark out our area of resistance, and that's it. You mark out those two areas, and then look, you can take bounce plays off the area. Bang, you could take something like that. Just like that. You could have taken the same thing as price came back up to this area for a double top right here. You could have done something like that. You guys get what I mean? It's 2 or 3 simple steps. You mark out high quality zones based on all the knowledge points that I've told you in this video, and you can take trades off of it. And then, like I said, if price, decides to come back up, break above, retest the area like this, you can then look to, let's find the tool, get in, as we mentioned on the first slide over there, the break above, the pullback, the retest, and you get in. There's no need for us to have to mark out all these different things just to enter a trade. Trading is already hard enough, and there's no reason we have to make it more difficult than it needs to be. 2 or 3 simple steps and you can take high quality trades. So now that I've actually explained what support and resistance is, how to mark it out on your charts, etc., I'll take you into my backtesting software and I will show you a live example of how I would trade a support and resistance example. Okay, if we look on TradeZella here, this is my backtesting software, we can actually see that if we look in this area right here, this bottomed out. This is a swing low. As you can see, price could not make any new lows here before moving us to the upside pretty heavily. Okay, well, let's actually get rid of this. We can see that price bottomed out here and gave us 1 bullish candle, 2 bullish candles, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles to this direction. Okay, that's a big move. That is a move that only a lot of buying pressure could fuel. Okay, there's no reason that one simple retail trader could fuel that. You need a lot of orders, you need a lot of buying pressure, and that move happens. Well, what can we do? As you guys know from the steps of this video, we can mark out this very area just like this, and we can see price has touched this area and kind of already made a reaction off of it. But that's not it. Does price end up coming back to this area? Yes, it does. We can actually see that price touches this area. Let's get my tool out right here. It touches it more times over here, just like it touched it here and made a move up. So the fact that price touched the area right here and made its move up, based on what I've taught you in this video, what are we expecting? We are expecting price to reject off of this area and make a move up off of it once again. So we can put our stops below the lows. We can target this simple area of market structure. Let's target something like this, just in the middle of all this consolidation. And then what we can actually do is enter ourselves in the trade just for backtesting purposes. We can watch this trade play out. So as you guys can see, we are getting the exact move that we expected. Price made a huge move to the upside here. It comes back down to the area, rejects and retests the same area it did over here. Remember, we are looking for price to touch the same area. Okay, the area doesn't have to touch the same part of the candles. We are just looking for price to touch the same area. Okay, now even better, if we look at an area like this, we can see that this area holds up too. We can mark it out as support and resistance. We can see here, look, oh my goodness, price retested and rejected off this area. What does it do as soon as it comes back up and rejects the same area? Wow, we get moves to the downside. So you can see that these areas hold, that areas of support and resistance, they hold, and they are simple and effective. I just did 2 things there. I drew out my purple boxes, you draw out your boxes or your lines or whatever it is, and then we entered the trade based off the rejection of the zones. It is that simple. There's no need to overcomplicate trading and what you're doing in your trading. It is that simple to trade. I kid you not. And anyone who hates on that just doesn't understand that trading can be made effortlessly and simple and way less stressful than 400 different concepts to enter a trade. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I feel really blessed to be able to make new videos for you guys going into 2026, being able to help you guys trade. Again, trading does not have to be difficult. It does not have to be hard. Okay, it's already hard enough mentally on us. Okay, we don't need to make it more technically hard. 2 or 3 step, even 1 step simple strategies work sometimes. Okay, guys, if you guys want to join my Discord and be able to get results like my students like this, because we live trade every single day, please don't forget that the link is down in the description. All the prop firms I use to make 70K a month are down in the description. I appreciate you all being here, and go into 2026 and actually take an action. Don't just say, oh, I may. Take an action. You got this, guys. I much love to all of you, and I appreciate all of you, and I know I will be seeing you guys a lot this year.